Today we are taking a deep dive into one of the most iconic infantry fighting vehicles ever built, the M2 Bradley fighting vehicle. A machine that has seen decades of combat, evolved through multiple upgrades, survived controversy, and proven itself on some of the harshest battlefields in modern history. From the Cold War tensions of Europe to the deserts of Iraq, the Bradley has played a critical role in mechanized warfare. The story of the Bradley begins during the Cold War. In the 1960s and early 1970s, the United States Army realized it needed a new vehicle to keep up with rapidly advancing Soviet armored forces. The old M113 armored personnel carrier was reliable but lightly armed and lightly protected. The Army wanted something more powerful, something that could not only transport infantry but also fight alongside tanks. The result was the M2 Bradley, named after General Omar Bradley. The Bradley was designed as an infantry fighting vehicle, which means it carries soldiers into battle while providing heavy firepower and protection. Unlike simple troop carriers, the Bradley was built to fight. It entered service in the early 1980s and immediately stood out because of its weapon systems. At the heart of the M2 Bradley is the M242 Bushmaster 25mm chain gun. This automatic cannon is capable of firing armor-piercing and high-explosive rounds at high rates of fire. It can destroy light armored vehicles, enemy infantry positions, and even low-flying aircraft. Mounted coaxially is a 7.62mm machine gun for engaging infantry targets. But the most powerful feature is the TOW anti-tank missile launcher mounted on the turret. With TOW missiles, the Bradley can destroy main battle tanks at long ranges, giving it serious anti-armor capability. The vehicle typically carries a crew of 3, a commander, a gunner, and a driver. In addition, it can transport 6 fully equipped infantry soldiers in the rear compartment. These soldiers can fire from firing ports in earlier versions, although later models removed some of these features to improve protection. When it comes to protection, the Bradley is heavily armored compared to earlier troop carriers. Early models featured aluminum armor with spaced laminate protection. Later variants added explosive reactive armor and improved steel armor packages to defend against rocket-propelled grenades and improvised explosive devices. Over time, protection became one of the main priorities as the vehicle faced real combat threats. The Bradley saw its first major combat action during the Gulf War in 1991. In Operation Desert Storm, the M2 Bradley proved its worth. It destroyed more Iraqi armored vehicles than the famous M1 Abrams tank. Using its TOW missiles and 25mm cannon, the Bradley engaged enemy vehicles at long distances with deadly accuracy. However, the conflict also exposed weaknesses, including vulnerability to friendly fire incidents due to identification challenges in the chaos of battle. In the years that followed, the Bradley continued to evolve. The M2A1 introduced improvements in ammunition storage and NBC protection. The M2A2 added enhanced armor and survivability upgrades. The M2A3 brought advanced digital systems, thermal imaging, improved fire control, and battlefield networking capabilities. These upgrades transformed the Bradley into a modern networked fighting platform capable of sharing real-time information with other units. During the Iraq War beginning in 2003, the Bradley once again proved itself in urban warfare. Fighting in cities presented new challenges. Insurgents used roadside bombs and rocket-propelled grenades. To counter this, additional armor kits were installed. Urban survival kits included improved vision systems and better defensive measures. The Bradley's combination of firepower and troop transport made it extremely valuable during patrols and urban combat operations. Mobility is another key strength of the M2 Bradley. Powered by a Cummins VTA 903 diesel engine producing around 600 horsepower in later versions, the Bradley can reach speeds of approximately 56 km/h on roads. It has a torsion bar suspension system that allows it to traverse rough terrain effectively. Although heavier than early designs due to added armor, it still maintains strong battlefield mobility. One interesting aspect of the Bradley program is its controversial development history. During the 1980s, critics argued that the vehicle tried to do too many things at once. It was designed as a troop carrier, a scout vehicle, and a tank killer. This led to design compromises and rising costs. The program became the subject of Pentagon reform debates and even inspired books and films about defense acquisition problems. Despite this rocky start, real-world combat demonstrated that the Bradley was far from a failure. Over the decades, more than 6,000 Bradley vehicles have been produced. Variants include the M2 Infantry Fighting Vehicle and the M3 Cavalry Fighting Vehicle. The M3 version carries fewer troops and focuses more on reconnaissance missions. Both share similar weapons and armor systems but serve slightly different battlefield roles. In recent years, the Bradley has once again entered global headlines. It has been supplied to allied nations and used in modern conflicts, proving that even decades after its introduction, it remains relevant. Continuous upgrades in sensors, communications, and survivability keep the platform competitive in modern warfare environments. However, the U.S. Army is now developing a replacement under the optionally manned fighting vehicle program. Future vehicles are expected to feature hybrid power systems, autonomous capabilities, and advanced active protection systems that can intercept incoming missiles. Even so, replacing the Bradley is no small task. Its long service record and adaptability make it one of the most successful infantry fighting vehicles in American military history. The Bradley's combination of mobility, protection, and firepower represents a balanced approach to mechanized infantry warfare. It operates alongside main battle tanks, providing support and carrying soldiers directly into combat zones. This integration of infantry and armor is a cornerstone of modern combined arms tactics. When you look at the M2 Bradley, you are not just seeing a piece of military hardware. You are seeing decades of battlefield lessons, engineering improvements, and technological evolution. From Cold War preparation to desert storms and urban combat, the Bradley has continuously adapted to meet new threats. Its 25mm cannon remains lethal. Its TOW missiles remain dangerous to armored threats. Its armor continues to evolve. And its digital systems connect it to the modern battlefield network. Few vehicles have managed to stay operational and relevant for over 40 years. In the end, the M2 Bradley fighting vehicle stands as a symbol of American mechanized power. It is not perfect. It has faced criticism, upgrades, and redesigns. But it has proven itself under fire time and time again. Whether operating in open deserts, dense cities, or rugged terrain, the Bradley remains a formidable presence on the battlefield. And as long as mechanized infantry remain a core part of modern armies, the legacy of the Bradley will continue to influence the design of future fighting vehicles. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the M2 Bradley fighting vehicle, make sure to stay tuned for more military technology breakdowns, history, and battlefield analysis.